What's up, y'all? So, today I want to just break down how being a Christian is different than we might expect in the beginning. Like, in 2025, I'm here in California, right around LA. There's a lot of self indulgent culture, there's a lot of self celebratory culture, a lot of achievement based pursuits, which is all good. It's all cool. But where it stops becoming cool, especially as a Christian, is that we start to celebrate ourselves too much. We start to do things for our own egotistical benefit. And the problem with that is we're not acknowledging where the power of achievement is generated and sourced from. So, what I mean by that is I can be the one who pursues a goal. I can put in work. I can do phone calls. I can, make sales. I can build websites. I can do all this action. But on the other side of the action is a whole world, is a whole other part than what I am. That's what God is. That's what the universe is. That's what everything outside of my own soul is. And so when we start to achieve things and we don't give credit where credit is due, then now we're going down the wrong path. We're starting to develop an illusion about where our strength of achievement has come from. So that's one thing since I've gotten into Christianity that I've realized and noticed is like when I make music and I'm kind of puffing my chest out, it's really so that way I feel like I am significant. But since becoming Christian, I'm realizing that the only significance I have is the force that I'm aligned with, which is Jesus Christ, which is God, the Father, which is from the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. So without that, how good could one of my songs be? How good can any of my business pursuits come out? How well can I assist anyone if I keep thinking it's from me rather than from God, rather than from Jesus Christ? So when we go to the gym, it's to become strong, it's to become healthy, it's to inspire people, right? Okay, but then on the other side of that sentence, at the other side of that achievement, is inspire towards what? Be strong for what? Become healthy for what? And since we know being a Christian isn't about glorifying self, it's about glorifying God, give glory to God, giving glory to God. That's where the purpose comes in. That's where the end meets the beginning. That's where faith exists and bridges action and inaction, goals and beginning. So, I don't know if that made sense, but let me say it this way. When we know the reason why we're going to the gym is to give glory to God and to praise Jesus through our whole life, then now it doesn't really matter if you feel good or not. It doesn't really matter if you're tired or not. It doesn't really matter if, you're overthinking or not. Because you have somewhere to give it to. Because now you're part of a team. You're part of a unit. You're part of a mission. It's no longer your self-glorification. When it is your self-glorification, your motivations are different. Your energy sources are different. And they're less pure. For example, when I used to go to the gym, I would think, okay, there's people out here who want me to lose. There's people out here who want to see me defeated. And I can't let that happen. Therefore, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to build myself up. But then it came a point when I was thinking, well, who cares what they think? I'm not even going to see them again. And if I do see them again, I'm just going to go the other way. Like, I'm going to see them before they see me. So either way, I'm going to be fine. This is all just a game I'm playing in my head. And then I lost motivation for the gym because my source was defensive. It was me versus another human. But now it's not me versus anyone. It's me with Jesus Christ. It's me with God. It's me with truth. So how can I ever run out of a power source? How can I ever beat the enemy when there's no enemy? The whole game is different. It's an infinite game. Therefore, I'm more powerful because it's truth-based. Because I'm not doing it for me, because it's never been about me. You can never single out a single human without the collaborative efforts and energies of the people around them, or circumstances, or environment. Of course, there's the intelligence that they displayed and exhibited in interacting with these environments in whatever way that they did. But there's never a separation of individual from all else. Or else you would say that that's false. You would say that that's illogical and untrue. So, in the same way, if your whole world life philosophy is based on truth, is based on Jesus Christ, then you're going to be able to have much more energy, much more power in order to pursue goals that actually benefit more than you. Because once you become Christian, you realize that there's a slippery slope of self-achievement and pursuit. Because, like, let's say right now I'm poor, and let's say I want to get rich. If I do get rich right now, while my philosophy is still self-oriented, then I'm just going to, what? Probably buy more clothes, probably get a bunch of jewelry, probably start running ads and branding myself on billboards and making it largely about me, myself. Because if I'm the core of my achievement, then I need to make sure that I am as important as possible. But here's the slip of that slope, is at what point do I direct it Godward? Because I could keep saying, oh, let me get more, and then I'm going to give it back to God. Let me give more, and then I'm going to give it back to God. But there should be no separation of this and then that. It should be from the origin, from the initial foundation. This is the goal, and then I pursue with this achievement as my progress, as my road, with no end in sight until the end that I meet. So that's what I'm trying to say, is philosophically, efficiently, there is a cap to self-fueled achievement. And if you notice, self-fueled achievement, it's always me plus one. It's Raymond plus one. It's restless no sleep plus one. Because I can never be enough if I'm always trying to be better than what I am. But when you are Christian, when you believe in Jesus Christ, when you accept the fact that imperfection is a starting point that is just as valid as any other starting point, then I can just be Raymond. I can just be Restless No Sleep. I can just be me. And Restless No Sleep is my music brand. I can just be who I am now without having to become this fallacy of a being and then present that fallacy and run with that fallacy. Because then I have to become egotistical. I have to become twisted. I have to become false. And then lie through my whole energy, through my whole marketing output. My whole messaging has to be that I'm greater than what I really am. Because if everyone were to find out that I'm just a normal person, that I'm an imperfect human, then where would my power be? It would still be there through Jesus Christ. It would still be there through God giving us all grace. But me not having faith in that, me not believing and surrendering to being a servant of God and not trying to pursue others promoting me as a God, then that means that, here, let me start over. If I don't put myself out there as being better than I am, then I'm safe. If it's just me, if it's just an imperfect human approaching you all, then there's no shame. The only shame would be lies. The only shame would be false actions and mistakes. And the likelihood that I make severe mistakes is significantly decreased as a Christian, as someone who puts Jesus Christ as the center. And many sins, they taint ourselves because we present ourselves to the world. If we taint ourselves and then we present ourselves to the world, then what does that mean? We taint the environments, we taint the people around us. So you don't have to be you plus one. You don't have to be you plus anything. It's just you with God, you with Jesus Christ, and that's perfect. That's what you were designed to be. You don't look at your dog and your dog tells you, oh, I wish I was a lion. I wish I was this elephant, this tiger, this exotic creature. Because you accept your dog for being the dog. Your dog is a dog. A human is a human. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. If you're working a 9 to 5, that does not mean that you're a failure. That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Of course, there's more out there. But there's always more out there. All that I'm saying is you are ready now. You have value now. There is no human on this planet without value. There is the illusion of not having value, which is the preventative measure applied internally by oneself to prevent the flow of value that we contain. But there is no lack of value. There's a lack of the presented value or the understood or the awareness of the value. And that's why being a Christian is so important, because it takes the focus off of how you feel, off of you being celebrated, and you give the glory to something greater than you, which is true. Because look, I didn't design this camera, I didn't make YouTube, I didn't make all the computers you guys are watching, and I didn't make the companies that you guys are working for, and I didn't make the dollars that we're all spending to flow to each other. So that's okay that I didn't do all that. I am me, and I have value, and this is what I'm presenting. And this is the philosophy that I think is beneficial to every person, because you can take that shame and throw it away. You could take that shame and understand that who you are is acceptable, who you are is good, and there is more good to be had, especially when you're founded in a power source that accepts you, that loves you, and that tolerates imperfection and celebrates imperfection, as long as the imperfection is on the path of truth, which is through Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ, like when you really think about it, you know how many people out there are against Jesus? There's a lot of people out there doing some dark things. And I'm not even saying that you don't believe in Jesus, but a lot of people out there rooting for the opposite team. And one thing that brought me back to Christianity was, if there's people really rooting for the opposite team, and they're drawing shapes, they're, doing their little thing, it ain't looking good, But if they're doing that, then, and they believe in the Bible, then it's pretty clear that the Bible holds significance. A lot of significance. And if you start to look at who these people are that's against Christ, and you really look at the source of where they're sourcing their power, it becomes very obvious what side you want to be on, Of course, you want to be on the winning side. You want to be on the side that your soul's at peace, that you can rest easy. So that's all I want to say. Have the right power source, not the wrong one.